Welcome back to another episode of Locked In on Security, your go-to podcast for everything security related. Brought to you by Alert Enterprise, the leaders in AI-powered physical identity access management.
I want to chat with you guys a little bit about the Leaf community, what makes it unique, what makes it different, why now? We're a proud member of the Leaf community. We've recently joined. We're really excited to be part of this journey with you guys, but tell me a little bit about Leaf and the vision.
Well, first, we really appreciate Alert Enterprise being part of the Leaf community.
Thank you.
It's great to have you guys helping drive the future of interoperability.
Good.
And that's what it comes down to, is the industry as a whole has tried to do amazing things with great products over the years. The problem is not everything works together.
Yeah.
So the Leaf community's goal is taking a Leaf spec that was actually written over a decade ago, but it was never intended to then become proprietary. And unfortunately, what happened was a number of organizations wrote to the spec, but then added some additional proprietary key sets on top.
Yeah.
And then that broke the original intention of Leaf. So what is the Leaf community? And we had a fabulous launch this morning.
Yeah.
So, it was great to see you there. And I think we had over 80 people in attendance looking to learn more about Leaf. But it's about people basically supporting the Leaf spec and making a commitment to driving interoperability and not putting anything proprietary on top of the spec.
Good.
And it's open to everybody in this industry. There's no restrictions. And I think the other important thing is it's not just for device manufacturers. We are welcoming device manufacturers, integrators, consultants, and end users into the community.
End users?
Yep.
What's the appeal to an end user? I mean, I understand why an end user wants to adopt it, but why would an end user join the community?
The end user can come into the community and have a voice. So we have different parts of the community, different monthly sessions, and we will have monthly sessions for product managers at end user organizations. So as they're talking about what the future looks like for them, how do we support them in the Leaf community?
Right.
Who else should we be recruiting into the community that supports that end user's goals for what good looks like in the future?
Wonderful. Okay, excellent. So far you've got a good cross section of the industry. As you mentioned, you've got consultants, you've got end users, you've got integrators, you've got manufacturers. What's the end goal of Leaf? What does Leaf look like 5 years down the road, do you think?
What I would love it to look like is for everybody in the industry, with no exceptions, to be part of
So you do think there's a world where there's one credential standard that rules them all?
I believe there should be one physical and digital credential standard that can work across everything for base buildings, for applications where that interoperability is really important.
Yeah.
This does not mean that end users can't have their own custom key sets and decide which credentials and devices work together. Firmly believe the end user should still have that ability to have a second key set on the same credential.
Great.
So that's really where hopefully this all goes. And I think the momentum we're getting right now is fabulous.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot to do on the digital side with the Leaf community and how we can apply it to wallet specifically.
Speaking of wallet, do you expect the wallet providers to have a voice and take some sort of participation in this as well?
I believe that will be coming. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Good. And I have to assume if and when that happens, you do think that will probably create exponential growth for wallet, because I mean, that will add additional credibility behind the Leaf standard as well. We all know, and I'm just play devil's advocate, there have been a lot of these over the years. There's been a lot of ideas and concepts around driving standards and interoperability. What makes Leaf different?
I think, actually, you know what? Jeff has a question. Do you want to jump in on that question?
Leaf's got a bunch of different applications within it. It's got multiple keys. One of the big things is, let's say a key were to get compromised, you can always roll to a new key. You can have other device manufacturers manage different keys. And one of the big things with the Leaf Universal Credential is there's a digital manifest, which is essentially a digital footprint for a physical credential.
Interesting. Talk a little more about that. How do you actually operationalize that and bring that to life?
Yeah, so essentially when a credential is programmed, every detail about that credential that could be used to identify a user is put into a manifest that could be downloaded by the user via a QR code on the package and uploaded into a access control software.
And I believe I heard this morning there is or will be an API to that. So companies like Alert Enterprise can tap into that and we can broker those connections into the various access control systems for our end users, yes?
Correct.
Okay, wonderful. We're looking forward to that a lot. So what's, Leaf is obviously in its infancy right now. It's, well, maybe not. It's been around for many years, but big formal launch now happening. What does the next 6 months look like for Leaf? What's on the horizon?
We're just going to keep growing. We're going to keep working with other device manufacturers, adding others into that ecosystem. There's, I think just a week before this, I had about 5 different device manufacturers working with myself and my team to try to onboard and write to the spec, be able to read from the spec.
Okay. Excellent. And then Julia, from a marketing perspective, I've been really impressed with just the brand and the community that Leaf has built around this. I assume that you're heavily leaning into activations and events to get the word out.
We absolutely are.
Good.
So we've already done some pre-launch activities on socials.
Yep.
We're going to continue driving more content, more educational content into the marketplace.
Good.
And we're going to bring in lots of different voices, and that's important.
Wonderful.
So you're not going to just see myself or other people.
Good.
The founding members. We're looking to folks like Alert Enterprise to be a voice, and everybody who's joined the community. So just tapping into that we are like a broad community with different opinions, but a shared goal of, things working together.
Good. And we will be advocates and champions of this. This really harmonizes our message of choice and flexibility to the market. Until we get to that utopia of the one credential that rules them all, our message to the market is quite simple. We will support any credential technology that exists out there. We'll support any reader credential technology that exists. So this really just leans into the choice message that our customers are really loving right now. So we're happy to be a partner with you, and we're happy to be on this journey with you together.
Great to have you on board.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on the latest episodes. Share this episode with your network and engage with us in the comments below. We'll catch you on the next episode.